We have a special report.
Special report. Special report. Welcome, everybody. We have a special report. What are we talking about?
We're talking about the election and how it's going to affect the real estate market.
Yes. Historically, how has elections affected the real estate market?
And so how you can likely expect it to affect the real estate market this time.
Based on history. All right, here we go. I love it. Okay, so we're going to dive into this. Everybody, we do have a big election coming up, and everybody's
What
kind
is
of.
it? Who's?
Is
it like a governor or something?
I think it's the governor of Nevada.
Obviously, we don't talk politics outside of how it affects the real estate market.
That's right. So what does the election do? How does it affect the market? Because we do have this conversation coming up. Buyers are wondering, sellers are wondering. So we're going to talk about what's happened historically.
Oh yeah, and we are in the Northern Virginia, D.C. metro
Yep.
area, so that's why it matters.
Yeah,
so
it matters
much.
very much. Yeah, these are nationwide stats though that we're talking about.
We could just get rid of what I said, but still it really, really matters.
I'm not getting rid of it because it does really matter.
I should have done the alligator hands. I don't know what
I
that
like
is.
the alligator hands. All right, so the first thing is, in general, there is a slight pullback of activity in an election year. Usually the last 2 months, October, November, you'll see a slight pullback. It's not a significant one, the market doesn't die, but it can be, there's a slight pullback, and that can be local to your market. So for example, here in DC, we might actually see a bigger pullback because a lot of government employees, depending on who wins the election, that might change who lives here. So there could be a bigger pullback, or if you're somewhere far from DC, it might be just a slight pullback because of uncertainty. So it's kind of an
what though? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, but it's just uncertainty throws people off. It doesn't matter for what. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to stop. Okay, so there might be a slight pullback. Okay, but it's not a significant pullback, so it's not something that's going to freeze the market. But there's that. All right, so in 8 of the last 11 elections,
It's kind of like when a hurricane was coming back home.
yeah,
People just kind of stopped and waited. It's like,
is it going to hit us? Is it not?
yeah,
Back
the
home was in
grocery
Florida.
shopping was like a little weird. Like, I'm not going to do my normal thing,
Yeah.
stock the fridge. I might have to empty it. Maybe you
Yeah.
should get grill out stuff. But you don't really do anything until you know the category and where it's going to go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that.
It's just
like
like
the
that.
election, the presidential election is like an oncoming hurricane.
Yes, that's exactly what's
That's
happening.
exactly right.
That's right. And then once it hits,
People are
wherever
like, I
it
don't
hits,
know if
yeah.
I'm going to keep living here, if I'm going to go.
or I might get transferred out.
I might get transferred.
or- yeah. Okay. All right. So small pullback. Not wordy at all. This is still a special report. Okay.
It's even more special with my add-in.
It's so special. Okay, so 8 of the last 11 elections. Now, when I say 8 of the last 11 elections, remember this covers 44 years. Okay, so just keep that in context. 8 of the last 11 elections, interest rates have dropped prior to the election.
We know
So
why.
we now know 9 of the last 12 elections that interest rates have dropped because interest rates are coming down. Why? Could be economic uncertainty, could be political positioning for
We
the.
don't care
It
why.
doesn't
What
matter
we care
why.
about is what does happen.
That's right. So historically, including this election, 9 of the last 12 elections, interest rates have come down right before the election.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! 9 of the last 11 elections, number of home sales the following year have increased.
A lot.
Okay, so this is important. We're going to paint a
lot,
picture
right?
here. A lot, yeah, significantly increased. And then in 7 of the last 8 elections, home prices have increased in value significantly in the year following the election. So let's take a thought for this.
Take a think.
Take a think. All right, so prior to the election, which is where we are, there's a slight pullback of buyer activity,
Sales,
transaction
right?
activity. Yeah, transaction
Also
activity.
listings,
Yeah.
or is it just
It's all of it. It's overall
it's the whole
transactions.
thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a slight retraction because nobody knows what's going on. Interest rates come down, and then if interest rates came down in the current market without an election coming up, buyer activity would be skyrocketing.
Right, that's true.
So interest rates come back, the market kind of pulls back a little bit, creating an opportunity for buyers to maybe not be in so much competition. Then after the election, prices go up and home sales go up in the majority of elections, or the majority of years after the
More
elections.
significantly than they would in a normal, not
Right.
immediate post-election.
Yeah.
time.
So and the only time the prices didn't go up in the last it was 7 of the last 8 elections. The only year it didn't go up was 2008, and that was the housing crisis.
Yeah.
So realistically, prices are going to go up
Yeah.
again. So if you're a buyer and you see this retraction and you see on the horizon, what do you think you should do?
I mean,
gonna
your
give you the
interest rates
answer.
are low. Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna tell them.
Go ahead, tell them. What do you think they should do?
I think they should jump in while the interest rates are lower and the prices haven't gone up and they don't have as much competition.
That's right. Yeah, because if the
Yeah.
interest rates stay lower, or even if they don't, and that buyer demand bounces out
Yeah.
come December, January, and the market starts going crazy, they're not going to be competing in there, and they get to take advantage of the appreciation.
Right.
Yep. So that's what's happened historically in the last several elections. So
Yeah.
do with it what you will, but my opinion, and probably yours, you can tell me if you feel differently, is there's an opportunity now for
I
buyers.
just told you my opinion.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure. From a seller perspective, it's still a seller's market, so you're still have the upper hand, but
Ish.
but you have to price it right. You have to be realistic. You have to get the condition of the property right, and it's taking a little bit longer to sell right now.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I mean. It's like an ish seller's market.
That's right. Okay. All right. Let us know if you have any questions or any comments. We would love to hear from you, and we'll see you on our next video.